Welcome to the Girlfriend Dialogues.
I didn't know everybody here.
I'm just trying to,
However, I originated from Queens.
And literally, because this conversation goes like this, where everybody knows the saying, that means everybody was taught the same thing.
Kind of like brought it down and just said, this is what I'm going to say.
Maybe that's what I take from our friendship.
She took accountability.
She did.
Like control. Like
All right, it happened. Like, all right, now what we doing?
We're not even talking to you from the beginning. Corny is not on paper. Corny ain't on paper.
Right.
Corny is in the air.
But you
I have no problem with continuing to do what you're doing and shifting. That, I think that has a lot to do with the way we grew up.
Went and got me a two-door car. I'm so
Two have to make a greater good and build up one another.
Relationships, politics. I'm so opinionated.
You see the nonsense come, you can
I'm so happy to be here.
And what you bring, it'll all work out.
I actually would like to tell a little story about friendship based on how this dialogue came along. I was actually at one of the most, what's the word I want to use? Emotional transitions in my life. And these ladies, uninvited, came, popped up because of my individual relationship with them all, just showed me what real friendship was about bonding, about this uncompromising position where no matter what you need from a friend, they'll be there. And literally the night that we all came together, it turned into something that we thought should be made public. We all spoke honestly and openly about who we are and where we stand. And the relationships that I have with each one of these women actually brought us to this position. And I just want to welcome you. Welcome to the Girlfriends Dialogue.
But I think the topic of friendship is an amazing one. We went back and forth a little bit about how we start this. What topic are we going to focus on? And we went through a ton of different topics and ideas. And, at the end of the day, what's basic? What's genuine? What's realistic? What's the one thing that you cannot doubt? And that's friendship. That's something that everybody can add their 2 cents into.
My definition of friendship is loyalty, a bond, and things of that nature. I'm the type of person that if we are friends and we have that relationship, that I am the type of person that'll give my shirt off my back, and I expect the same as in another person as my friend. So with me, loyalty is a big thing with me.
Loyalty and character means a lot to me. If you have no loyalty, you have no character, we cannot be friends. Because I am the type of person, as she stated earlier, is that I will give my shirt off my back for you. I will help you and I expect you to be there for me. And during that time, I didn't know everybody here, but everyone embraced me and loved me. No one judged me. And they took me in as a sisterhood, and that was very important to me. So this is why I'm here, and this is why I'm excited about talking about friendship, and I'm glad to be a part of the Girlfriends Dialogue.
I agree with a lot of things that were said, how we came here, what we go through, all of that is absolute truth, right? These are our lives. We go through them by ourselves together or however it is. Friendship to me is purpose, right? So loyalty is important, love is important, your shirts are important, all of that stuff comes with purpose. It is give and take, it is sometimes more taking and sometimes more giving. And it's not always unconditional and it's not always forever, but everybody has a purpose in your life.
I'm going to summarize what friendship means to me. By the way, I'm Lisa. I don't know if I really should be sitting here today because I was a little reluctant about doing this whole podcast thing. I know I like to think of myself as being opinionated, but I like to keep my opinions to myself sometimes. Because sometimes they don't always come across. It's not perceived in a way that I would like to represent myself. So sometimes, and some people here, I know Raina and Lady T can attest, sometimes I come across as being a little snooty, bougie, however. But friendship to me, I can sum it up in just 3 words: love, accountability, and forgiveness.
And loving each other for who we are, right? Everybody, we are so different in so many ways, and we have to learn to accept that, even within our own friendships. Like, right?
That goes
And I
with what Tamika was saying. How you were saying how there were so many of us here, and you didn't know everyone, but everyone was just loving and accepted. And I think that that comes from the bonds that each person had. Maybe you guys have a bond, we have a bond, and just us all being in the room. It's what we used to call third-party friendship. It's because we're friends, we can also be friends.
Yeah.
But I agree, this whole loyalty thing, to me, I left that out, but that is number one. That is definitely number one, because I mean, how do you get past that? How do you get
there are
past
ways, right?
Okay.
Because I f- up. Like, I f- up all the time. I'm not perfect. I don't have ill intentions.
Right.
But I f- up, and I have to hold myself accountable. Last weekend, I messed up. I was supposed to do something. I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't end up doing it. My friend was really hurt. She was like, Jess, I had this plan, and you kind of just like disappeared, because I was going through my own so I shut down.
Right. I think everything that happened that day when we had this discussion about, this is again me thinking I'm being a friend, saying, okay, maybe this is not the right time, this is not the thing for Jess, literally led to us saying, no, it's not your choice. You don't have the right to make a decision for me. And I get that. I shouldn't have made that decision for you. I don't look at it as a big thing too.
I wouldn't
That's a
look at you
huge
as
thing.
less than a friend because you didn't invite me to
Right.
an event.
And that's
right?
I think a lot of it is like Raina said, she tries to protect feelings because some places she may say, well, I don't think this place is suitable for Lisa, so I'm not going to invite her. It's just a part of knowing your friends.
Yes. Well, no, some
I'll
people,
definitely
I was going to
say
say,
it.
some
I'm the
people,
same
if you
way.
don't speak to them every day, they kind of feel some kind of way. I'm like, listen, this is who I am. I'm still your friend. Wherever we left off, that's what we
Right,
pick
but
up.
on the other end of the spectrum, and I mean, after we had the discussion and we talked about it, Jalen made a good point, right? Don't assume or make assumptions for me in
Right.
terms
And
of
then
what
I
I
think-
want to do or what I want to be a part of. So I think the great thing is that you took responsibility for the decision you made, and you apologized.
I did
to
that.
her.
I
Yes,
took
you
responsibility
did.
for once in your life.
Yeah, amen. Once in your life, you did. Right? So, and she forgave
I'm
you.
glad.
and
I'm glad
we
this is
moved
being recorded.
on.
You took accountability, and she got to hear your side and everybody else's side. But like I said, everybody is different
You guys
when it
came
comes
to
to
an agreement?
friendship.
Right.
And it's
Over.
resolved. Like I said, me personally, it doesn't bother me. I
Right.
would never look at anybody less because they didn't invite me. But some people are sensitive that way.
Right.
And I don't like the friends where I have to carry you all the time. I have a friend like that. I have to carry her all
I think
the
we've all
time.
been down.
Yeah, and that sometimes in my mental space, I'm like, do I want to deal with this today?
Well,
Right.
can you elaborate on that when you say carry her?
Oh,
In what
I-
capacity are you carrying her?
She's very needy.
Mentally.
Yes, and everything is
Emotionally.
offensive. So it's like if I bring another set of women around her, I'm afraid that she's like, oh, you were talking to them
A
more.
little
And,
insecure.
yeah, and it's like, so some events, I'm like,
And
no,
then
I
you know
can't
what?
do it.
Not to cut you off, but sometimes we can't mix our friends. Some friends
Yes.
cannot mix.
That I learned very early
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You cannot mix friends sometimes.
No, you can't.
Really?
You can't mix all your friends.
Lady T, that literally is a self-esteem thing. It is a self-esteem thing. Because why do I need to be sitting on top of you when we're in the room full of women?
Yeah.
Why can't we all just hang out, kick it,
But you let them fall off by themselves. You give
Right,
them that rope.
right.
And they
right,
take it.
yes.
They take it. That's why I said friendship has a purpose. Like all of your friendships are purposeful, just like your relationships or whatever they are, right? The only thing that you really can't make a purpose out of sometimes is family because you're stuck with them. But on the most part, your friendships and your relationships, vice versa, are purposeful, right? So you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that purpose from them, and if they drain you, then eventually.
But I was gonna say that's a you thing. If you allow someone to consistently drain you,
Yeah.
then that's on
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
It's not them
It's
because
not them.
they are who they are, and if you see it at some point in time, you gotta be like, wow, I can't do it.
Well, ladies, let's sort of pivot the conversation. So friendship is definitely the topic. Let's talk about our friends and being genuine, because I think that's huge, right? We always want people in our lives that are genuine, people that are real, that are transparent, right? We all have those individuals, they give you that facade, this is what I am. This is all I want you to see. This is me with my mask and my makeup on, you know, but what happens when things don't go so well? You know, do I get that part of you, or do I always get just the fabulosity, the turn up, you know, I'm amazing. Everything in my life is great. Look at my Facebook page, you know. No, what happens when things get tough? And I think that's important. So I definitely appreciate people that come in that say, you know what, today is a effed up day. I'm gonna be honest with you, girl, it's rough, you know, and I just need to talk. I just need to let loose and vent. And I think it's important when you can have those open and real and honest conversations with people. You don't have to put up a facade. You don't have to act like, you know, my skin is thick and everything is great. No, it's I'm doing bad right now.
But what if that's not a facade though? Because I'm a very genuine person, and to my friends know who I am. They know that I'm just this same way all the time. But if you meet me in the street, you're going to think other things of me, because that's where the facade lies. The facade is for everyone else when it comes down to
possibly, yeah, because they don't know you.
Right.
I'm referring to those individuals in your life that always portray that it's fabulous. And at the end of the day, we know it's not always
even
like
when
that.
Even when I'm hurting, though, it's fabulous.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not being funny. I'm being serious.
Absolutely.
Like, even when things are rough, I still feel like I can get up and just do it.
No, and look, I commend you for that, because I think I said to you at one point, and this was a couple of years ago, like you were going through some things, but you know what you said to me on the phone? Like we were talking and I felt bad, the discussion we were having, because I didn't know how to react, but you said, look, shit to do. We gotta get past this, because I got things to do. And and in your time of need, you actually built me up, because I was like, wow, that's a positive outlook. Like, let's get on the bandwagon and get this going again.
And that's the purpose of friendship right there.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's not everybody that has Raina's outlook or has Raina's optimism or determination when, you know, she's falling apart, that it's, hey, I still got stuff to do. I gotta get up and go. And that's why friends might flock to you. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely something I look at when I am with you or talk to you or need an opinion or go through my shit, because I've gone through plenty of shit. You know everything I go through. I'll give you a call and be like, oh my God, listen to what's going on. And you always have an optimistic attitude, right? So maybe that's what I take from our friendship, right? Because that's what I need in my life, because I can't be the person. I'm not the person that when everything's falling apart, I'm okay. But then 5 minutes later, I will be okay. I'll be like, you know what? It could be worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not always there.
As friends, if we are extending an olive branch, you've done what you needed to do. Right. You can't force anybody to grab hold of it and come in, boo, I got you. Let's talk it out. Let's hug it out. But if you make that effort to open yourself up and be a friend and just be genuine, look, we've all been through something.
We were taught to get up. So my mindset, my kids make a joke about it all the time. Like, if I'm arguing with the brother, they say, I know you don't lay down for nobody. And they start giving me
that's that old Southside rules, sorry.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
it's what it is.
I'm like, no, you have to move on. Like, all right, it happened. Like, all right, now what we doing? You know? And, you know, so they make a joke about it, but I really think it has to do with your upbringing and where you grew up. And I look at her, it does.
No, it's a two-way street. I don't mean to cut you off, but I do agree. It's what you learn at home and what you learn when you go outside. Because you know when you went outside, your mother told you if somebody hit you, hit their ass back. Okay?
Just like that.
So, exactly. Just like that. Hit their ass back. Don't come up in here crying.
Don't come up here talking about you got your ass
whipped. And like you said, you know you can't lay down because you don't want 2 ass whoopings. No. And you're in a rough neighborhood.
The same thing.
Right. So again, I mean, I don't want to drift off of what we were talking about, but the reality of it is, again, she may just not see where she could fit in. You know how they say meet people where they are?
Yeah.
She may think you guys are up here, so she can't go up there to meet you. She needs somebody to come down to her. But again, to what Missy said, that whole olive branch thing, but how much can you offer, right? How much could you extend, right? Because then you become depleted. And then where we were before, now we gotta stop offering. Now it's like enough is enough. Sis, I'm here for you. Get back to me when you need me.
Right.
And it's a respect factor.
At this point, you just wait for
Right. Let me ask you a question. All right. Just talking
set
about.
up a majority
I want to go
of
back
your
because I want to go back to the topic. topic. Let me ask you a question. What was it like, to bond with other people from other areas that didn't grow up the same way you grew up, so to speak? How
Well, I know me living in Suffolk County, I used to always say I'm from Queens. People used to be like, "You're not from Queens." Like I used to always get that. You're not from the city. Like
so. It was hard.
It was hard. Like people really didn't believe.
Friends.
Like, oh, me and my sister were from Queens, and we moved out here in elementary. People didn't believe that. Like it was always, oh, they lying, they this, they that, whatever. But where we at every summer, every vacation, we're disappearing on y'all.
Right.
But they always said that to us, like y'all lying.
So it was kind of hard to make friends coming from Queens to Suffolk County. And I guess it's the mentality.
Yep.
What do you think? Because you moved to Long Island a little bit after you grew up in Queens. Like, how was that? Was that the same for you?
It wasn't an issue for me. I mean,
or did you keep the same friends?
I'm with Bougetto over here, so I'm okay.
No, but I'm saying
anyway.
Right? Yeah, but sometimes you know how it is.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what's important for me, and I always tell everybody, I'm honorary South Jamaica. Right? We went to school together, I grew up in Laurelton, but I spent my time with you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Is true.
Hanging out with you all, going to. Where we go? Deer Park, Bear
Mountain.
Bear Mountain.
We did a lot.
Yes, so I consider myself an honorary South Jamaica individual. But no, it's not an issue. I mean, people at the end of the day.
Yeah. What do you think, Jess? And this is because
you were
raised in
right, and that's the reason why I was
raised in Nassau and Suffolk County. I moved to Suffolk County in like 4th, 5th grade.
Okay.
But most of my friendships that I had during school, elementary, high school, I talked to like 1 or 2 people. A lot of people I know moved out of state that I was friends with. But for the most part, like my close relationships and my true meaningful relationships, some have happened in Suffolk County, but for the most of them, I'm not good friends with anybody who lives near me. I travel to all of my friends, and I'm one of those ones that like I don't like going east on Long Island. Like I live western Suffolk County, right? So I'm in Dix Hills. I'm western Suffolk County. I hate going east. I don't want to go east at all. There's nothing out there. But I will be in Harlem, Brooklyn, City.
So, ladies, let's pivot a little bit in terms of friendship. I know we talked about a few varying topics today, but let's talk about friendships, how it relates to work, right? Because think about it. We spend the majority of our days at work. Not that much time with our families, but a lot of time with our coworkers. And, you build relationships out of that time that you spend with them. So, are those easy relationships? Are those relationships that are tough to build that rapport? And do they cross the line into your personal world? I know for me personally, I'm a very private person. So although I engage with people at work, we have a good rapport, it may not cross that line into my personal life. How do you guys handle those situations? How do you approach them? Does anyone have friends at work that they truly consider friends?
Yeah, and that's what they are, friends at work.
Okay.
That's what I consider them to be, and I do engage with people at work, and we do develop friendships, but as you stated, it doesn't mean you're coming to my house. I just don't cross those boundaries. We're not friends on Facebook or anything. That's my personal life, and I just like to keep that separate from work. But these are my friends at work. We'll go to lunch and everything, but that's as far as I go with it.
Outside of work, it stops.
You know what? I've always come from places where I work with a lot of people. Raina is my friend through work. Lisa is my friend through work. More through Raina, actually, because Lisa and I didn't even talk really much at work.
Jessica did not like me at all, but a lot of people don't.
Except for, there are plenty of people at work that I don't consider friends or would not have at my house, but I'll go out to lunch with them and talk to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of, thank God for close friends on Instagram, because there's plenty of things I post that I would let Raina see, even though I worked with her while I was working with her. I don't work with her now. But there are things that I would never let my coworkers see that I engage in. Like, that's my personal life. Right. Those are my kids. That's my close friends. Like, don't ask me questions. We can go out to lunch. We'll talk about your stuff. Same. But there are those friends that I bring. Like, Raina is...
It was weird.
First of all, Raina said to me, You from South Ozone Park. So it's funny she says, you're from Jamaica. Because when we first had that encounter, I'll never forget, we were in the triage area, in that little registration area.
Right.
She was like, where you from?
Right.
You from South Ozone Park.
Right.
And she said, I could tell.
Yeah.
She did.
You ain't that
I don't know
bougie.
what she did.
Right. Because it slips out. It slips out. She be like, huh? Wait a minute. Park that.
So she said,
lightly.
she said, I could tell because y'all like to. I forgot exactly what word she used. Something about we cross over. Or
Right,
something
right,
like
right,
that. Y'all know how
right.
to turn it on and off.
It's off
Something
and on.
to that effect.
You
Yes,
adjust.
yes,
But
yes.
as we were
That
talking,
old
we
form
realized
of
we know
work.
the same people.
Right, right.
We know
right.
the same exact
Right,
people.
right.
So
I myself learned a lot today. Listen to everybody talk about friendship. I realized I'm a little closed off. I'm so guarded. I was just sitting here listening going, no, I don't want anybody in my circle, you at work. Like, no, don't come to my house. I don't want to go to yours. But I learned a lot, even how to deal with my own friends. So I'm actually grateful for this conversation and this dialogue that we had about friendship, because I did learn something about myself, and I think it's going to help me in the long run. Maybe I need to open the door a little bit to my life, because I am so afraid of being hurt that I keep the door closed, and there may be some good people out there. So,
you know, we have to really look at everything that we've said about friendship and understand that friendship is really a relationship. Like, there is love involved.
Of course.
There's loyalty
Of
involved. There's compromise involved.
Boundaries.
These are all the things that belong in a relationship. And so when we think about friendship, when we think about relationships, we have to put friendship at the top. When we say, what is a relationship?
Right.
Friendship is a relationship.
it is.
You know, and have to look at, you know, what's our next thing? You know, where do we go from friendship being a relationship? I think that we really should start getting into relationships. You know, what is a relationship? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? And is it an intimate thing always? Is every relationship intimate? Coming up next on the Girlfriend Dialogues.
when I meet somebody, like I said, I always have my guard up. So
I will
Personally,
never date another Virgo.
Right.
Like, it's just not happening. Sorry, you're exclusive.
So signs
Like,
of what relationships you have help build you into the person I want to say that I am today.
Do you think that your relationship with your mom hindered you from having relationships with other people?
And that was a good
Right.
thing.
Yes.
And it was
Yes.
positive.
Yes.
So it helped to build our relationships and make it stronger.
We all can bring something, you know, to the table when it comes down to relationships.
Building relationships, not necessarily friendships, but relationships with different people has been so helpful.
Maybe I took for granted before, I just were naive and I didn't know. You know what I mean? And really a lot of opportunities are presenting themselves to me now because I'm expanding my network.
You know, we came from sharing the same ice cream. Meanwhile, as an adult, I'm not sharing ice cream with nobody.
no, but I think that sometimes we have to go into things knowing that it may not work.
You can
Right. The best. Yeah.
And it's a water sign. It's
Look at this. Look at this.
See, I don't know.
I diagnosed as a female.
Yes.
Y'all can
Yes.
go back and forth.
Yes.
You know, we ain't having
Right.
sex.
That's what I was
Yes.
about to
So
say.
it is
Right.
the same.
Complicates everything.